नित्यानन्देश्वर समारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today, Kalabhairava Jayanti. Kalabhairava assumed the form of Kalabhairava. Mahadeva assumed the form of Kalabhairava and removed the false identity of Brahma and gave Shivoham experience to Brahma today. And such an auspicious day. And you also need to know, in original Vedic calendar, this is exact day I assumed the body. The Margazhi month, Ashtami Tithi, Krishna Bhaksha. That is exactly the time of my birth also. Traditionally, the birth is celebrated as per the nakshatra. So we are celebrating as per the nakshatra. But as per the Tithi, I am born exactly on the same Kalabhairava Jayanti. You may ask, then why are we celebrating Kalabhairava Jayanti as per Tithi? Traditionally, it is not somebody newly born as far as Kalabhairava is concerned. Mahadeva assumed that form and did that job and just again became himself. Because of that, we use Tithi for Kalabhairava Jayanti. If we use Tithi for my Jayanti also later on in course of time, it will be on the same day of Kalabhairava Jayanti, Kalabhairava Ashtami. Because Kalabhairava did not stay in that very form for a long time. He just, see, each of Mahadeva's action is considered as one incarnation. When he came out and destroyed Daksha and his Yajna, that action is Virabhadra. When he came out and destroyed the arrogance of Brahma and gave him Shivoham experience, that action is Kalabhairava. That is why Kalabhairava Jayanti is done as per the Tithi, not as per the Nakshatra. But any form which happens and exists, the Jayanti is celebrated as per the Nakshatra. Of course, still in the north, the incarnations Jayantis are celebrated only as per Tithi. Only in the south, we have the South India, we have the habit of celebrating all the masters' birth as per the star. That is why we are celebrating as per the star. Otherwise, originally the Tithi as per Tithi. Today is Swami's Jayanti also. And my Vedanta Guru, Mataji Vibhudananda Devi, she made a special trust to worship Kalabhairava on this very day, every year in Tiruvannamalai, and every month on Krishna Bhaksha Ashtami, after my birth, and after she initiated me into sannyas, she made this trust, and still the trust is doing that job of every year. The Abhishekam, the worship for Kalabhairava. It's actually she who awaken the biomemory of Kalabhairava in my inner space. I just want to remember her with my gratitude. Today we will be working on time, Kalabhairava. Already the mandala, Kalabhairava yantra is ready on the floor, and Kalabhairava yantra is ready. Each one of you are going to be connected through that yantra. So we have yantra, energized yantra ready for each one. After you go through the process, you can take that yantra with you. It is for you. The Kalabhairava's presence, the powerful presence will be with you. See, at one point, constantly creating, Brahma forgot he is doing it because of the blessings of Mahadeva, with the energy of Mahadeva. See, the Brahma's Kamandalu, which is the sacred water, out of which he creates whatever he wants, that water is the Abhisheka Tirtha of Mahadeva. The water washed the Mahadeva's body. That is why in all Shiva temple, where the sacred water, the sacred bathing, sacred bath water, what do you call, Abhisheka Tirtham, where it flows out, there Brahma will be standing with his Kamandalu to constantly refill his Kamandalu. Go to any Shiva temple, you will see where the sacred water flows from the Garbha Mandir, the Abhishekam water flows, there Brahma will be standing with his Kamandalu, because that is where he refills and creates the whole cosmos. Unfortunately, by constantly creating, he forgot from where he is refilling his Kamandalu. He was also given the 5 head by Mahadeva, but suddenly he became a little egoistic and arrogant and started thinking that he's, see, the Shivoham has to happen from inside out. It should become experience and then start coming out. And this guy, out of his hypocrisy and arrogance, started declaring, I am everything. So now Mahadeva has to make him understand and give him that real Shivoham experience. So he just wakes up from his samadhi. Kalabhairava comes out. The Lord of Time comes out and just cuts that 5th head, which has become a little arrogant. The moment the 5th head is gone, Brahma realizes he is also bound by time. And he realizes that it is hypocrisy that made him feel he is the superior. The moment he surrenders, Mahadeva again gives him the Shivoham experience and gives him the place back in his temple and says, you can start refilling your Kamandalu from now on and continue the creation. And he gives a permanent place in all temples of Mahadeva, where the Abhishekam water, the holy water, the sacred bath water goes. In that place, it's called Gomukam. In that Gomukam, always the Brahma will be there to fulfill his Kamandalu and do the creation. So that action of Mahadeva has happened on this Margasirsha Masa, Krishna Vaksha, Ashtami Tithi. That is why we celebrate this day as the Kalabhairava Jayanti. But you should not think Kalabhairava is somebody else separately born. No. It is Mahadeva's action is considered with the identity of Kalabhairava. It is Mahadeva himself is Mahakala and Kalabhairava. It is just his different actions. So his action of coming down to remove the ego of Targavana rishis, that only is considered as Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is not separate from Mahadeva. His action of coming down and with a begging bowl, that is Bhikshadana, and his action of teaching enlightenment and giving the experience of Shivoham to Targavana rishis is Dakshinamurti. So his action of seducing all the Rishi Patnis is the Rishabharuda. If you see there is a form of Mahadeva, most handsome form, the Rishabharuda, where he just seduces all the Rishi Patnis and the Rishis were shaken because that is the only weak point they had. They were so proud of everything else. So he wants to expose their weak point to them. So that form, that action is considered as Rishabharuda. So each of his action assumes one form. Given one form, and same way, his action of Ananda Tandava becomes Nadaraja. Nadaraja is not separate from Mahadeva. When he dances, he is Nadaraja. When he sits in Samadhi, he is Kailasanada. When he removes the arrogance of Brahma and gives him Shivoham experience, he is Kalabhairava. When he removes the arrogance of Daksha and gives him Shivoham experience, he is Veerabhadra. So these are various forms of Mahadeva. And when he stands as the light shaft and blesses Brahma and Vishnu and gives them enlightenment, then he is called Arunachala, Lingodbhava. So each of his action is considered as one incarnation. Like this, 64 incarnations are there, Mahadeva's incarnations. So each of his actions are considered as one form. Sandesanugrahamurti, Gajasamharamurti, Kalasamharamurti, Kalabhairava, Veerabhadra, Lingodbhava. Like this, 64 forms are there. All the 64 forms are getting installed in our Biddi Ashram temple. We are making all the 64 forms in stone and in 5 metal. There are some deities in Agama tradition, you don't keep them in 5 metal, like a Lingodbhava Murti is never made in 5 metal. Only those agamically which are not accepted, those deities will not be made in 5 metal. Otherwise, all the 64, other than this agamically not accepted, you will see all of them in stone deity and Panchaloka, both. Like Bhikshadana is accepted to be installed in stone and Panchaloka. Nataraja is accepted traditionally to be installed in stone and Panchaloka. But Lingodbhava was never installed in Panchaloka. He is a fire, he can't be contained in metal. So, but Veerabhadra is traditionally accepted, installed in stone and Panchaloka, both deities. But the temple will have all the 64 forms of Mahadeva described in Shiva Mahapurana. Shiva Mahapurana describes the 64 incarnations of Mahadeva. And you need to understand the word incarnation here. The incarnation has no meaning here, like he is separately happened and he lived in that body, and not like that. His action is considered as incarnation. he coming and marrying Parvati is considered as Kalyana Sundareshwara. Kalyana Sundareshwara is not separate incarnation, but he coming and marrying Parvati is considered Kalyana Sundareshwara. Like that, all the 64 forms described in Shiva Purana, you will be able to see all of them, and maybe all the 64 you will be able to see only in Biddi. Even Madurai does not have all the 64 described. I am wondering why maybe they installed and later on in the invasion it got removed or broken, I don't know. But all the 64 are not made available for people even in Madurai. Even in Tirunnamalai, all the 64 are not available. We are making all the 64 in Biddi in the form of stone and in the form of metal, so that you can have darshan, sparshan and sambhashan with Mahadeva. You can see him, touch him and speak to him. Kalabhairava is one of the most powerful expression of Mahadeva. Most powerful expression of Mahadeva. He is the energy on which all the memories are stored. All the memories are stored. Space is the energy where all visualizations are stored. Time is the energy all memories are stored. Cosmic record keeper. All the word documents are kept with Kalabhairava. All the visual documents are kept in the space. The space, embodiment of space is Nataraja. So Nataraja keeps all the visual documents and Kalabhairava keeps all the word documents. So anything happened, happening, yet to happen, you can just ask Kalabhairava, he will pull it out and give the whole record. And moreover, most powerful expression, easily accessible. The moment you call, he will be there. That's the beauty of Kalabhairava. We already have the Kalabhairava deity in Biddi. We are going to have a beautiful temple for him, stone temple. Stone temple for him. And I am also looking at still doing some more research. I am sitting with the palm leaves and getting out all the dhyana slokas. Kalabhairava himself has 11 forms. We were as on now able to get 8 forms. Still, the 3 more forms dhyana sloka, if we get it, means dhyana sloka means description of how he is. What he carries in which hand and how many hands he has. That is called dhyana sloka. Once we get the remaining 3 also, we may have all the 11 Kalabhairava forms installed in Biddi. Really wanted to have a 1008 temple in Biddi, working on it. 1008 Sannidhi will be there. When you enter, Ganesha, 32 Ganesha, and Subramanya, all the 11 Ekadash Subramanyas, and Devi, Dasmaha Vidya, and Navadurga, Sabdakanyas, and Vishnu, Dasavadara, and Shiva, all the 64 forms. And in that 64, Dakshinamurti has his own 11, Rudra has his own 11, Kalabhairava has his own 11. All those forms also, and all the 27 nakshatra, 12 rasi, and Navagrahas, Ashtadigbalakas. Many of the deities are already made and remaining are getting made. Once completed, it will look literally the the Kailasa, where you just enter and have darshan of all the gods and goddesses of Hindu tradition. Pantheon of gods and goddesses of Hindu tradition. Even the Saptarishis, Saptakanyas, and Navagrahas with their wives and Vahanas. From the childhood, I enjoyed revering, worshipping the pantheon of gods, not just one. I grew up seeing thousands and thousands of deities, gods, and I feel this is the unique strength of Hindu tradition, should be kept alive. Should be kept alive. We never had a problem of, oh, we have only one pizza, eat the same. We were very clear, each one have one. We were so vast and so rich in the space of divine, and really planning on 1008 sannidhis, means temples in Biddi campus, and 10,000 samadhis, where anybody who is Mahant of the Sangha, if he makes a will and family agrees, after they leave the body, they will be given a samadhi place in our Biddi campus, and forever they will be sitting in Aksharadhama with me. So, almost 10,000 enlightened beings samadhi, 1,000 temples. I wanted to allot each prahara for one God. And now, especially after seeing this Cambodia, my plans for temple has increased 10 times more. See, yesterday we were sitting and working about some temple projects. If we build it in RCC, cement, square feet costs 1,000 rupee. Indian rupee, 1,000 rupee, means less than $20, US dollar. And if we make the same thing in stone, it costs 10,000 rupee. Square feet, 10,000 rupee. I think $200, less than $200. If the same thing has to be done Cambodia style, skin carved, square feet 1 lakh rupee it costs. Ten times more than a stone work, and 100 times more than RCC work. So I was just looking. Today, if we have to build Angkor Wat temple, maybe it will cost around 1 lakh crore. Because so much of precision is required. You see, especially the beamless domes they build in whole India, only in Srirangam temple, the technology is used and still it is standing. Neither Madurai nor Chidambaram or Tiruvannamalai has this technology of a beamless roof. Because the stones need to be weighed and placed, just by its gravity it has to stand. Neither it should implode nor it should fall this side. And after arranging that roof without any cement or any material, it has to be aligned so perfectly, water should not seep through it. And after organizing whole thing, the outside they will carve. It's too much. A powerful intelligence and The ability and precision is involved in this. Usually in temples, regularly they will build with beams, and rarely they will do this just to show their ability. Like a 100 feet or 50 feet, they will do this dome. And that will also collapse after 200, 300 years. In Kanchivaram Mandal, they have tried, but it has collapsed. It is not still in the shape. But here, I have not seen a single corridor with a flat beam. Everything is the beamless roof. The whole temple, wherever I go, the whole Cambodia temple's compound, all the 4 prakaras, and even the library building or the Bayan temple. Oh God, I'm just celebrating every day. If you are a temple person, this is the country for you to celebrate. See, if you are a foodie, better go to Italy. It is like each country gives you something unique, special. But if you are a temple person, this is the country to enjoy. Oh God. It is much, much, much more than India. Because it's not that India did not build these kind of temples, but now it is not there due to natural calamity or invasion. For various reasons, now it is not there. But here, fortunately, even now, whatever is remaining itself is amazing. Amazing. That's the right word I'll use. Surprising. Shocking. If you are not a temple person, you may not enjoy all this. If you are a temple person, this is the place to enjoy. Sorry, after seeing Cambodia, my plans for Bidji has become double, triple. I don't have any doubt that Suryavarma is Vishnu's incarnation. If he can do this massive work, he can be considered, revered and worshipped as Vishnu's incarnation. Nothing wrong in it. I will consider him as Vishnu's incarnation. I will have no doubt that Suryavarma II, who made this Angkor Wat temple reality, I will consider him clearly as a Vishnu's incarnation. There is no exaggeration. See, otherwise, this kind of a leadership quality is not possible. Krishna very clearly says, wherever the glory expresses, I am there. And this kind of a glory, only Krishna can express. Only Krishna can express. And I have no doubt, he is an incarnation. I don't care about who says what, who criticizes what. And on my own authority, I declare Suryavarma II as an incarnation of Vishnu. And I have also decided I am going to give a statue for him in Bidji. I am going to dedicate, I am going to put his statue in Bidji for the amazing contribution of this enlightenment science and the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, his contribution. God. Few kings who really impressed me on this Suryavarma II and the king, the last king of Trivandrum kingdom. They are also the Varma dynasty only. His amazing Tyaga. He knows the whole wealth of Padmanabha Swami's temple, but never touched a penny. He only gave it to temple, never touched a penny. And anybody accuses king's family or king who passed away, who is no more now, will get the sin of false accusation. I know him personally for quite a long time. You can never put any blame on him. He is a great Tyagi. And I have never seen depth of that tyaga in a king. So it's time we get ready to work on our Shivoham process with the grace of Kalabhairava by requesting, invoking Kalabhairava's presence to give us all the experience of Shivoham today. He is very easily accessible and most powerful. So, get ready to celebrate the presence of Kalabhairava. And I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching and causing eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.